Daith da, Nakan. Welcome to podcast number 100. So how about that? Brilliant. I never thought I'd reach this number, I tell you. But tis absolutely brilliant. It's actually coincided. I looked this week, and we went past 50,000 downloads worldwide, which is crazy, really, for a silly old Cornishman here in Wadebridge. Tis fantastic. So I hope you all enjoy it. It's been a busy week, a varied week. We actually had the Raft Race here in Wadebridge last Saturday, or as us locals like to call it here, the Giles Stasky Annual Raft Race. And it went really good. The weather was good, nice lot of rafts, proper job, really good. We did spend quite a bit of time in Beth on the push bikes, actually. We went out round Gunwen and everything on Saturday, and I did put a photo of the chapel there on the Facebook page. Lovely little chapel. The community there, it is brilliant. But the chapel, I might have mentioned it before, it's upside down. So the chapel's upstairs and the Sunday school is downstairs, which can make it a little interesting when you've got a funeral, because you've got to go up these steps there. But tis a fantastic place. They're lovely people out there. I say, me nan and grandpa used to go out there, well, a few decades ago now. They was good friends with Percy and Ruby Hugo. That's how they started going out there. And we've made lots of friends out there over the years. And yeah, lovely place. And then Sunday, we went out with the coasters. They had, I think it was 3 different rides on Sunday. And because we done a nice long one on Saturday, we went for the shorter route on the Sunday. And it was brilliant. Magnificent 7. We was on, I tell you. And then was back to work, obviously, on Monday, although I did manage to get quite a bit of work done over the weekend. And you may have seen on our Facebook page, the RJ Bray page, I did put a video up that Peter had done leaving St. Breward with the hearse. It must have been about 30 motorbikes. And you can't beat the motorbikes, really. 'Tis proper. Really good. But apart from that, we've had a busy week, I must admit. We've been here, there, and everywhere, really. 'Twas good on Thursday to see Gary and his family. They'm living up in England now, and they'm doing missionary work and spreading the word about the podcast, which was brilliant. So that was good. And then in the afternoon, we was St. Izzy, and then we went Penmount for the committal. Now, we had the song Lamorna, and I'll talk about that a little bit more directly, I think, because I think that'll be me Cornish dialect of the week. So if you remind me, I'll talk about Lamorna directly. One strange thing that happened to me yesterday, I was a bit late leaving work, and I got in my car, and this bloke was walking up Bridgeview Hill, and he pointed to me, so I got out. He wasn't Cornish, and he wasn't English. Whether he was Polish or something, I'm sure he had a European accent. And he said, I got a problem. So I said, what's that? He said, I'm choking. He said, I think I got food stuck in me throat or windpipe. He said, can you do the Heimlich maneuver on me? Now, I'm thinking, hang, what's on here? And I'm waiting for Jeremy Beadle, or, well, he's gone on now. You've been framed, and the gang to jump out the bushes with their cameras. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah. He said, I've had it before. And he said, I'm choking. Can he do the Heimlich maneuver on me? Now, for those of you then medical like me who might not know, that's when you get behind somebody and you give them real squeezing. I'm doing the actions here as I'm talking. You're squeezing them just underneath the rib cage to try and loosen any food. So I thought, well, I'll give it a go. So anyway, he come up in the car park and I give him about 4 or 5 squeezes, but I didn't feel nothing happen, and I don't think he was 100% happy. He said, I still feel it there. But if anybody was driving past at the time, it would have looked a bit dodgy, to be honest, as to what exactly was happening there. And I did tell everybody at work about it this morning, and they was actually threatening to go back on the CCTV to actually watch it. But Dearvan, he wasn't happy. He still thought there was something lodged there. So I said, best thing you want to do, mate, is go to see the doctor, hospital, whatever. So that was a little bit different. I've never been asked to do that before. So 'tis Friday as I'm recording this, and We had a sad occasion really today for the funeral. We was in Glyn Valley, and that was for the funeral of Colin Richards. Now, you might have heard me, I mentioned Colin, well, a month or two ago now, really. And dear of him, he was such a fan of this podcast show. He really was. And I can remember Michelle, his daughter, she sent me a message, and I always remember it because 'tis like nights like tonight. I mean, I finished work 8:20 tonight, and I'm now working on the podcast. And there have been weeks, that have gone before where I think, oh, crumbs, I got to try and squeeze it in if I can or whatever. And Michelle, she sent me this message, quite a while ago now. And she said how her father was becoming a real fan of the podcast and how he always looks forward to the next one. And she said it brings a smile to his face every time. And for an hour or so, he forgets about his Parkinson's. And she said, I see the dad that used to be. So I always remember that. And I always will. When there's times when I'm thinking, can I do it or no? Just a message like that made it all worthwhile. And it was quite touching, really, because the funeral today, I read the eulogy, and it was a packed crowd. The chapel was full. There was people outside, people in the waiting room watching it on the TV. And it was a lovely send-off, really, for Colin. And I did say at the end of the eulogy that I just wish there is a Cornwall upper in the sky, and he's up there with Jan now and all the family and friends that have gone on before. And like I said, they're having a proper do. So rest in peace, Colin. I'll always think of you. So I think we'll now go over to part 2 of my interview with Mark. Brilliant response last week. Absolutely fantastic. And I did actually see Mark and a lot of his family this week at Glyn Valley, because sadly they were there attending Mildred's funeral. Again, it was a lovely turnout for a lovely lady. So here we are, Mark. Over to you, mate. And we'll carry on from last week, and then I'll speak to you again directly. So what was village like then, back then?
Oh, they used to, in the summer, they used to go up and play rounders and things like that,
Yeah.
And football and one thing and another. And my father, he wasn't very good for playing football. He said he couldn't see nothing in kicking around a bag of wind. He said, I'll give you a hook to go down and cut some brambles.
Oh,
we didn't take no notice of that.
No.
When my father bought an Austin 10 car before the war in about 1938. And now I smell the leather in them, they're beautiful. And you could start down with handle as well,
Yeah.
And in July of 1938, the Royal Cornwall show was a booed.
Right.
And it was the last Royal Cornwall show before the war.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he took my mother and my gran, I remember, and my sister, Jean, and we was going up. And the roads were nothing like this now.
No.
And just windy and all this here, and he was going on, and a car passing. He said, he used to say, good Lord, he said, that's a Vauxhall car. He said, they'll go 40 mile an hour. He was going 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see that planes, anything. I was only 8-year-old.
Yeah.
After the war, as the first Royal Cornwall show was at Truro, right, where the park and ride is now, this side.
Right, yeah, I get it.
In that area.
Yeah.
I always remember that. Yeah.
Was it a very big show?
Oh, fair size for what we thought to us at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing like this now.
No.
But then they would go from east of Truro one year, then west of Truro the next, in them.
Yeah.
And Bath and West came, I remember coming down to Launceston, they had Royal Cornwall show, and then the Bath and West come sometime afterwards in the same place.
Did it really? So I don't expect you've missed many of the shows?
No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't miss this year, really, because David and wanted me to come up to see the flowers tent one evening, because he was head one up there in the flower tent. And he came and took my wheelchair up, and he pushed me around. We had a good look around.
Yeah. God,
Yeah, because I used to work up there when I went to Gileone first. We used up there, come April, we was up there cutting grass all the time. Because they hired Gileone to look after it all.
Yeah.
You cut the grass in the sheep tent, and 2 days afterwards, Albert would be down saying, your grass is growing in the sheep tent, you got to cut it again. And I remember having a brand new Mountfield mower,
Right.
and was driving on, bang! There's one of these your big metal stakes. He picked up and smashed the mower to smithereens, the cast and all slide. They added in the grass, they never picked it up.
No. What other hobbies did he have then? I expect you was working a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's right. Well, gardening. I used to do a lot of gardening.
Yeah.
Finished up when Frank died down there. I done a lot of shows. I used to judge shows.
Yeah.
All over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to show a lot, and we used to show against like Jimmy Hawkey and my brother John Benag and all the rest of them. We used to have shows and you could grow the biggest carrots. I've had carrots this long, that big around,
Get away.
Yeah, and parsnips and all this. We used to grow them in big barrels,
Right.
3 in a barrel. You used to bore all down and then put very fine soil down and giving away me secrets
now, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was a bit of fun, that was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you went Young Farmers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Roach
Young Farmers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting because you used to have competitions going around judging cattle and all sorts of things. You know what a cow should look like and everything, all their lines and,
Yeah. So when did he get married then?
October 29th, 1955.
Oh, yeah.
So we was married 68 years and 5 months.
Yeah. Long time. Yeah. And then the family started coming along?
Yeah, after the 2.5 years before Jin was born.
Yeah.
And Christine was born 14 months after.
Right.
And then there's Ellen, she's 1961.
Yeah.
And then there's David, 64. And then Stephanie was 1971.
Brilliant. Lovely, isn't it? Lovely.
And then marvellous. They look after us.
You was chapel family.
That's right. My father was a local preacher once upon a time.
Was he? Yes.
And his brother was called Percy Hawken. They used to do bone setting with, Malcolm Ritalik as his grandson.
Right.
He's relation to me, and because his mother was Hawken. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
And then you had Francis and
Howard.
Howard.
Yeah.
Howard was relation to me too, because his mother was Hawken.
Oh, yes.
And Martin Taylor and all that. So we
all tied up. Big family, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, big family.
Very big.
So, of course, the chapels over the years have closed, really.
Yeah, that's right. But I go Rosenannan now, but I don't think it's going to be much longer, really.
No. So where's that to then? Is that in the
Rosenannan in the village?
In the Sunday school
building?
That's
right.
Yeah,
because they sold the chapel.
That's right. Yeah.
And we got it all done out, beautiful.
God.
And everything brand new in their kitchen and new little electric organ and all the rest of it.
Could he have a funeral in there then? Or
no, I shouldn't think so.
No.
Well, he could, but you need to get it going there.
No.
It's like Innes. I used to go up Innes and play a lot.
Yes.
In my turn, because Joey Douglas used to play as well. There's another one going there.
Just gone recently, yeah.
Another thing, when I was going to school, we used to, my mother wanted to give me 6 months to go to Tommy Atkins. You know where that is. So there's Reg Amley's insurance people got it now.
Yeah, I know.
Well, upstairs is Tommy Atkins. He was the barber there.
Right.
And used to go up there and have my hair cut. I went up to have my hair cut one night or afternoon after school. And I put my hand in my pocket to get my handkerchief, and he was full of sheep's poo.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, that afternoon, we went playing football over on the park over here.
Yeah.
And that's before any bowling
Or the tennis courts.
or anything like that there. And the grass was ate down by sheep. Yeah, sheep, or say. Well, the team that I was in, we was all up other end kicking the ball into the goal, and there was Alec Tribuck. I don't know if you know that, Alec.
Yes, I did, yeah.
Well, Alec was there. He never had nothing else to do. Weren't put cheap poo in people's clothes because we had our coats down beside the goalpost.
Yeah, that's right.
So I went out into the hall, and down in the staircase there was a big window, and he had an aspidestra there.
Right,
So I took it out and put it in there. So I said in the 2 years afterwards, I said to him, I said, did you ever see any sheep poo or whatever it was in your aspidestra? He said, I always wondered where that come from. done his aspidestra good, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Another time we was over there playing cricket, I think it was, in the summer, just before the war. And it was on, there was... the Americans was here up Badeve.
Right.
And they was all up in St. Breoch Downs, hundreds of them.
Where they?
Tanks and everything else when I was going to school like this here. And for 3 or 4 days they was there. Just before it was all ploughed and grassed out there.
Yeah.
It was all heather, you know.
Yeah, I see.
No fences or nothing.
No.
And there was hundreds of vehicles. And on the 6th of June in 1944, I was going to school. Everything was gone like that.
That's it. Yeah.
And so they went across, you know. And in the middle of the road, there was a huge, big box of live blanks. They never had the bullets in the end.
No.
A scatter must have come off one of the lorries, and it was all over the road. So I pulled my pockets up, didn't I? And we took them down into school, and there was a concrete post. And where the wires was gone on one of them, we put Sting in there, he just fit in with the hammer. Oh. Bang! Frightened the girls. But I was silly, didn't I? I didn't know much more sense then. I turned on and put one in the vice.
Oh,
like that. And he split abroad like that.
Oh.
And called my father one very happily.
No.
I cut my finger, that's all.
Oh, blimey.
So I had all these blanks for years, but I never seen none like that.
No.
Then we was up, like I said, we was playing cricket down in the playing field there, and we all had to go up to the road, to the wall, and down come 2 little light airplanes with one of the American generals in them to inspect the troops up Badeve.
Really?
Yeah. And we went on playing cricket after again, and then they come down and we had to go up again when they took off.
Yeah.
They landed on that little short area, you know.
Did they really?
Yeah, and down here opposite the church, they made a Bailey Bridge.
Right.
They making and going across. We thought that was good. They were able to walk across there now. Yeah. But there was only practicing.
Yeah.
They took them down and do it again, you know.
Yeah.
They was practicing before they go.
Yeah. So, being where you was then, did you mainly come into Wadebridge for everything, or did you?
Yeah, Wadebridge was our main town market. We used to go to the market, you know.
Right. Yeah.
All the cattle and everything was trade was in the market. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
You know everybody and.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I say farming changed over the years.
Oh yeah, we had about 200 cows to finish up with. We amalgamated the 3 farms we had.
Yeah.
And we went, had a big milking shed, parlour and all the rest of it. We milked about 16 cows at a time
Yeah.
We really modernised. Then this year, cow disease, you know, come in.
Yeah.
And, we gave up, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't have it ourselves, but, and one thing or another couldn't viable, you know.
No, exactly.
So, it was brought up better off once we could come down here to live.
Yeah, that's right.
Not so much work.
No, exactly.
Although we enjoyed it because it's a way of life, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
I belonged to the Camera Club, and there was George Biggs. Do you remember George Biggs? He was tobacconists in the town
All right.
over there.
No.
We had a little shop there just our side, Tremaine and Collicuts at the
Oh,
time.
yes. Yeah. I know.
We
yeah.
used to be up with, what was it called? Up top of town, he was a photographer.
Bishop.
Bishop, yeah, Ray Bishop.
Ray Bishop,
Yeah, we
that's
used
right.
to go in there and have our meetings, you know.
Oh, did he? Yeah. Yeah. Cool. He's been gone a few years now, hasn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
And his father used to take orders for, I don't know, Toss Corner Farmers or something in the mark, and he used to do it all in shorthand.
Did he? So what other shops can you remember, like, in town? Because it's all changed now, really, isn't it?
Langmaids come down there, Longdons with it. They come from, there's a bombed out at Great Yarmouth, I remember that.
Right.
And there was a girl there that she and Mary Harris, do you remember?
Yeah.
They used to be out at night and they used to meet the Americans and one another. They always had plenty of silk stockings and we was after them for chewing gum.
Oh, brilliant. So what was on the plat then? Was
Weeks was there with their garage.
Yeah.
Opposite town hall.
Yeah.
And there was a little car park beside of it, wasn't there?
Yes. Yeah.
And there was hammocks used to be there Mondays selling plants and things, you know, potatoes, seed and all sorts of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chemist, was there
Yeah, Williams, chemist.
Yeah.
It was halfway up the street and the post office was there then.
Yeah. Up Moser Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little doors going into all red there, I remember.
Yeah. When you come in Lansdowne, did you have to cycle into school every day?
I did. Unless I come down Rose Frogley with a train.
Yeah.
We only done that when it's bad weather.
I see.
Instead of coming over the doors, because we used to go down to Ruthern, you know.
Yeah. So you used to make a lot of hanging baskets and that when you was down Trelawney.
Yeah, lots. Yeah, I made over 410 one year, I remember kind of.
Did he really? Right.
Yeah. People would come in and ask for me to make them, you know.
Yeah.
Frank used to say, full right up, he said.
Yeah.
You know, pack them in, you know.
Yeah.
And I know some of the big baskets in there was about 70 quid's worth of plants in them, you know.
Was there?
And we had line watering so that they was all, you just switch it, turn a tap and they watered and feed in the water and everything, you know.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, when I went in there first after helping your dad, David come wanted me to work forklift, so I was down there doing forklift most of the time, the first year or two.
Yeah. It was a big concern, wasn't it?
Yeah. Then when Frank gave up, they wanted me to go on the van and delivering all over Cornwall. It was all right, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, say, we used to see every day pretty much.
Padstow, might go down there 3 times a day sometimes.
Would he really?
Yeah. Hotels, and there was a hotel called, there's a Metropolitan there, there's other one, I forget the name of them.
Yeah.
But you go Rick Steins as well.
Obviously, so going back to Treliver with your young family, did you live in the farmhouse?
Oh,
then? Yeah.
They got that as an hotel now, 5-star hotel. All the buildings is beautiful buildings there. Yeah. And there's a Lanhydrock estate. When Tommy was killed in the First World War, they had to pay for death duties. And a lot of farms, because they owned the farms, they had to sell it for death duties.
Oh, I see.
So there was about 4 or 5 farms in Gunwen and Withiel that was sold off for that. So that my grandfather bought Treliver for set my father on there.
God, I didn't realise that.
Yeah. And there was gates there on the farm, exactly the same as what they got in, they're now red gates with iron bars across.
Oh, yeah.
They're exactly the same as in there, because I was in there last Thursday, and I went in there to have a meal in the car park area. I've never been there before, but I've been in the car park. I've been down in Big House and had a meal before, you know.
Yeah, that's right. So that was all part of Lanhydrock.
Yeah, another farm called Trigustic, that's in Withiel. That was joining the farm where we used to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was your neighbouring farmers then?
Oh, Hawkey brothers, you know, Keith and Harry Hawkey.
Yeah.
And I was getting the house ready to get married from the farm, and I was passing with the tractor through through 3 goals.
Yeah.
And Harry come out and said, "Tell mother Audrey got a little baby boy, and he's going to be called Philip."
Oh, get away. God,
And he was married. He was born a fortnight before we got married.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Oh, they was lovely neighbours.
Yeah.
Marvellous.
Lovely gang. Isn't it?
Lovely family. They
Yeah.
was. Name the oldest family been in Gunwen at the moment.
Yeah.
The only ones really, the established ones that have been there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's wrestlers and all that.
Yeah.
My father used to do a bit of wrestling.
Oh, did he?
When he was young. I can't remember it before my day. But
Yeah.
he had a cup, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's one of the sports, especially at Wen with all the Chapmans. You know.
Yeah. Very popular up there,
Oh,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I knew them all, you know. And the farm where I would, me and Mary lived in was Charlie Kessel's great uncle.
Oh, was
He
it?
was called Harry Warren, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was just had Rosemary Warren and
That's
everything. All the same family, you know. Yeah, you think of things afterwards.
Yeah, you do, don't you? The times I've turned it off, and then somebody have said something afterwards.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I wish I'd still kept it going, like, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I was in bed last night, what can I tell him? But it do come out, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Once
it
you
do.
start.
Yeah, definitely. Brilliant. Well, I think we'll round it off for now,
Yeah.
and then I'll always come back in the future and we can do another one.
Yes, if I remember.
So, if you'd like to say goodbye to the world,
Yeah, cheerio, and thank you for listening.
proper job. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Mark. That was brilliant. Like I said before, I did see Mark at Mildred's funeral this week, and he did say to me, he said, "Here, I thought of loads of other things that I could have said." So I said, right, we'll have another go at it. We'll leave it a little while, but we will have another go. But one of the stories I don't think we will mention, which he did say to me last week off air, was about the salmon. So I don't think we'll mention the salmon, Mark. But the funny thing is, I've spoke to a few people up St. Wen way over the last 2 months, and a few of them have got tales about salmon, but never to go on air. But there we are. We'll leave it at that. I think for me, Cornish word of the week, Phil said to me today, "Are you doing anything special for number 100? And if I was organised, I could have done something, but I ain't, so I am. But I thought what I would do for me Cornish word of the week, I'll do the Cornish for 100, which is cans. Cans. And for me Cornish dialect of the week, I think it'll be the word no. Now, I don't know if I've done this before or no, but 'tis like the Cornish dialect for know, which is K-N-O-W. So if you know something. So if somebody said, "Oh, do you know so-and-so?" He said, "Oh, yeah, I know he. Well, the one I always remember is my dear cousin. He passed away years ago now, David Powell. And David, if he was working in around Wadebridge, me and Father, we used to go home for dinner between 12 and 1 when I first started working with Father. Well, we couldn't do it now. We'd lock up the office, walk home for dinner. And quite often, if David was working in town, he'd pop in, he'd have his dinner with us. And he'd always say something, and he'd always finish it with, "Do we know?" So he'd say a statement, he'd say, "Do we know?" So that's the one thing that stuck in my mind. So that's what it's going to be this week, "Do we know?" But I did say earlier about Lamorna, and we had that at a funeral this week down Penmount. And for those of you that ain't here in Cornwall, Lamorna is a beautiful little cove down west. If you're ever over here, you want to go down to it. Me and Beth, we've cycled down to it a couple of times and that. 'Tis a beautiful little cove, handsome. And the name is just beautiful, Lamorna. But also, there's a beautiful folk song about it, Lamorna. And basically, 'tis about this bloke, and he jumps in the cab, which you imagine is the old cab with the horses and cart kind of thing, that sort of cab, not a London taxi sort of thing. And he's chatting up this young maid, and it turns out that he's actually his wife, because it says when he jumped in the cab, he asked her for her name because her face was covered over with a veil. And then he lifted the veil and 'twas his wife. So obviously she wasn't very happy about his carrying on. But there are versions of it. I mean, there are some versions, they sing it in proper English. But there are versions of it where they sing it in normal English kind of thing for all the verses until you get to this verse, where then they go into the Cornish dialect a bit just by using the word "nor," really. So it kind of goes, it says, she said, I know you well. I know thee all along. I know thee in the dark, and I did it for a lark. And for that lark you'll pay for the taking of your donor. You'll pay the fare, I do declare, away down to Lamorna. Isn't that brilliant? They don't write songs like that anymore, do them? So there we go. So from all of that, Lamorna, say, going back to me cousin Dave, when he used to say, do we know? That's the Cornish dialect of the week. And thank you very much. Episode 100 finished. Proper job. I'll see you next week. Wish you well. Do Guinness. Carnobus Ficken.